the voices in your head, the self-sabotage from all the shit that you went through with your dad and your family, and you'll never amount to nothing, hoping you would die, I'll kill you. How do you keep those voices from entering your head, or what do you do when they do? We're moving on from the family stuff, but I wanted to ask one more thing. And this actually comes from a guy that's on my team who's got, believe it or not, a very similar upbringing to you. And I'm just so fucking proud of him because he has changed his lineage and he's gotten away from that generational curse. And he's been with me since he was 17 years old, and still with me today. I think he's 26, but this question is from him, and so I told you at the beginning, like, this is gonna touch a lot of people who've been in similar situations as you, and what he wanted me to ask you is, as you start to amass the success that you're seeing and getting in the UFC and making a name for yourself, and how do you combat the voices in your head, the self-sabotage from all the shit that you went through with your dad and your family, and you'll never amount to nothing, hoping you would die, I'll fucking kill you. How do you keep those voices from entering your head, or what do you do when they do?
So I don't think you'll ever stop them from coming into your head, especially if you've had trauma or anything abusive in your childhood that is stuck with you for years. It's always going to be there. I think it's natural for humans to doubt themselves. It's our protective mechanisms. When you go to do something scary, your brain tries to stop you from doing it because it knows the risk, the damage, the hurt. But I think it's being in the present moment. I think that is the master key to everything. And Shawn, my teammate, who's also, get on his title run, he's a top 2 guy. He's number 2 at welterweight. He had a lot of performance anxiety in his career, and he turned it around. And I used to pick his brain too. This is where it comes back to what I said about asking questions, because I still had the doubts. If I lacked anything, I'm a very confident guy. There's not a guy you could put in a room that I don't think I could knock out. I think I have that chance against anybody, big, small, doesn't matter.
Well, I think you've proven that.
Yeah, except Calvin. That guy's tough. But I still dropped him. But yeah, so I asked him, like, man, like, what do you think you did to change? He was like, just being where my feet are, being in my present moment. He went and got help and sports therapy and all those things. But I'm not really big on like therapists. I'd like to just kind of figure it out, or ask questions of people that I trust and things like that versus somebody I don't really trust and pay money to. I don't connect with people like that. But he was like, being in the present moment, like, and just appreciating where you are. No matter what was done to me, it's what's shaped me to be the human that I am. I think a part of anxiety comes from, obviously, doubt and the things that can go wrong. But if all I worry about is my effort and controlling that effort, and my confidence and my preparation and my confidence and my education on things that I want to learn about and things like that, like, I can't fail. You can't fail. Like, I'm not defined by a win or loss in the UFC. Even if I got cut from the UFC, it's not my identity anymore. It's me going out there and taking the risk and giving it all that I have, that I can judge, and that's who I am. I go out there and I put it on the line every time, and I try to look for the finish every time, or I try to apply myself to be a better person in my everyday life, because that's the person you have to go to sleep with. That's the person you have to wake up to. That's the person you get your work ethic from. So I would just say it's being in the present moment and realizing that your past doesn't define you, fighting doesn't define you, and how you treat the people you love is true success. The friendships that you have is true success. It's not monetary. It's not money. Mm-hmm. It's not cars. I love cars, but it's not cars. It's not the fucking big house. It's not the jewelry. It's not the watches. It's not the chains. It's not the fame. It's how you treat the people that you love most in your life. That's how you're going to be based. That's how you're going to fucking keep a sound mind. And, yeah, so no, I don't think anything in the past has, like, affected me anymore. It used to, I used to be like, oh, if I lose, this motherfucker's going to laugh at me. or everybody's going to think I suck and all this shit. And, you know, I've had my struggles when I lost my first UFC fight. I walked into the fight. I wasn't 100%, whatever. I lost. I wasn't the better man that night. And everybody turned on me. It was the first time I got famous pretty quick in the fight world. I got a lot of hype behind me and then I lost. And then everybody was like, you fucking suck. You're a fraud. You're a bum. You lost my fucking bet and all this shit. Kill yourself. You're this or you're that. So it still continues. Now it's not my father saying it, but it's people. But these fucking people are unhappy in their life. Imagine taking time to go and fucking shit talk a professional athlete you've never met.
Oh,
It's
I
wild.
could relate to you all day on this.
Of course.
But
You could touch 100,000 fucking lives and save 100,000 people. But if you piss one fucking person off and they don't like it, oh, you're a piece of shit to them.
yeah,
Who cares? So live your life by the standards of the people that you keep in your circle is what I would say. And I think that's helped me, you know, not let the negative thoughts get in my way. And if they come in my brain, I've been reading this book called Inner Excellence. I think for athletes, it's a must read. Sam Morpizza is always influencing me to read books. I hate reading books, but I'm not a big book reader. A little too retarded for it, but I still do it. And, you know, yeah, it's been it's the ego. It's the ego. A lot of our fears are ego driven. So it's been the most humbling, fucking annoying thing to try and digest because your ego gets in the way of everything. It influences everything. Like why you're insecure about something. Well, because you're afraid to fucking lose in front of thousands of people or millions of people on the TV. And it's like, bro, you got to let go of all that. You can't control all that. The only thing I can control is my performance. Did you work hard for this moment? Yes, I fucking turned over every stone I could. All right, then go out there and give it your best effort. Might be a win on the other side, might be a loss, but whatever it is, you're fucking ready for it.
man, it is astounding that you figured this out by age 28 years old.
Because I got real fucking men in my life. Now
Nice
imagine
work.
if my father fucking had been a real man.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have fucking got it, maybe I wouldn't have. But I think this is my story to tell. This is my platform to tell it. And, you know, thanks to guys like you, I get to do it.
Let's talk about. So let's start moving into Will. I know he was. What was his last name?
Harmon, Will Harmon.
Will Harmon. You had mentioned earlier that he had put his job on the line for you. How did he do that?
I mean, he was picking me up, you know, not that that's against the rules, but he was trying to take me in his house before I had gone homeless, but he couldn't do it because the student teacher thing, can't do it, or he would have. But, you know, he didn't consult with anybody even after, you know, I graduated and opened up his home. And I think he put his job on the line just by simply fucking protecting my story. And the things that I was going through and keeping that close to heart. And I'm sure he had conversations about it in some way, but I know he got a lot of people off my back. You know, he stopped me from getting suspended from school a bunch of times for slamming kids into shit, or one kid was saying some homophobic slurs and I said some shit back and threatened him and didn't get suspended. So he was always putting his neck out there for me. I broke doors in high school and fucking did a lot of stupid shit out of anger, and he always was just there cleaning up my trail so I didn't get in trouble. So, you know, necessarily not anything to get fired over at all, but, you know, just even those small things went a long way. Like I lost my senior night and I fucking broke one of the Bilco doors, like big ass door, fucking kicked it right off the hinges and broke it. He came in the next morning before anybody knew and fucking fixed it.
Wow.
And I slammed a kid into, you know, the glass and busted his face, and he went on, and I should have got suspended. And he stood behind me saying, yeah, it's like, you know, I know what was being said and this is what's going on in his life. And, you know, really went to bat for me. And I couldn't really afford, like, if I had gotten, I probably would have just dropped out of school. So he kept me going to school. I didn't have good grades, and all I wanted to come to school with was to see him, play chess with him, eat lunch with him, and wrestle. So my man was there.
I mean, what was it like for you? So you didn't move in with him until 18?
I was 19.
19?
I was 19. Yeah, I moved in with a friend at the time who was not a real friend. And he moved in with his girlfriend, and I moved in with my first girlfriend at the time. And we were both in very, very toxic relationships. And, yeah, I don't even give a fuck to say it because it is what it is. But when I was working 60 hours a week, the dude was fucking around with my girl while he was engaged to his girl. And I didn't find out until 6 months after I'd already broke up with her. And then, we couldn't afford to stay where we were staying. And I got my car repossessed, my phone got shut off, my insurance got shut off, and Harmon took me in. And the worst part about it is one of my teammates at a former team that I was at, fucked the girl of my friend. So it was like a big fuck fest between everybody but me. And yeah, that is what eventually led them to break up, which means we couldn't afford to stay where we were. And then I found out that, and then I was like, man, I'm going to kill this motherfucker too. And, I told Harmon about it, and he was like, you got to come live with me. He's like, I just bought this house. He just bought the house. It was perfect timing. And he was like, I got extra room for you. And my car got taken away. It was one of the most humiliating feelings. And, he taught me a very good lesson. It was like probably the first lesson he gave me under his roof as to what it is to be a man of your word. And he gave me the money to get my car out of repossession and pay it off. And he said, I'm giving you this money not because I expect you to pay it back, but if you tell me you're going to pay it back, that's your word. And if you don't, I'll still be friends with you and I'll still love you and support you, but I might look at you differently. And that was right before my pro debut. I moved in with him. I paid him back over 2 fights, but I moved in with him right after my 4th amateur fight. So then I had one more amateur fight and then went pro. And I paid him back by that fight cash. And it was one of the best feelings in the world. And yeah, I finally had a stable home. I finally had good food. I finally had heat. Finally had my own bathroom. Yeah, it was special.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.